The book Thrawn Alliances features a team-up between two of the Empire's most valuable assets, Darth Vader and Grand Admiral Thrawn. This appears to be the first time they worked together in the new canon, but they went on a number of missions back in Star Wars Legends, so today we'll cover that story and then compare their relationship with what we see in Thrawn Alliances. Back in Legends, Thrawn and Vader didn't meet until after the Battle of Yavin and the loss of the Death Star. Thrawn was battling a warlord known as Nuso Ezva on the edge of the galaxy, and when he needed more Star Destroyers, he made a deal with Vader. He got his ships, and in return he helped the Sith Lord locate rebel leaders. About 2 years after their initial arrangement, Thrawn assisted Vader again on a mission against Black Sun and its leader, Prince Xizor. They were not prepared to openly attack the criminal syndicate, so Thrawn disguised himself as the bounty hunter Jodo Kast, infiltrated the fortress of one of Xizor's lieutenants, and assisted undercover Corellia security officers in arresting the man. Vader was pleased with the outcome and in return gave the Grand Admiral command of the Noghri species who had previously devoted themselves to Vader's service. In the year that followed, Thrawn continued to offer his assistance in locating the newest hidden rebel base and played a key role with Vader in discovering its location on Hoth. From that point forward, he split his time between Imperial space and his true mission in the unknown regions, and was not present for the Battle of Endor. He wouldn't return to the known galaxy until 5 years after Darth Vader's death. From everything we've seen in those Legends stories, Grand Admiral Thrawn and Darth Vader had nothing but respect for each other. Their interactions were largely told in the book Choices of One by Timothy Zahn and the novella Side Trip by Zahn and Michael Stackpole. Compare that to Thrawn Alliances, where the two share more of a begrudging respect. Their strengths and weaknesses complement one another, but Vader especially does not appreciate the advice and the know-it-all attitude of his partner. Maybe Vader's annoyance can be chalked up to the difference in when the two characters met. In Legends, they didn't meet until after the rebels destroyed the Death Star and presented themselves as a serious threat, a time when Thrawn's expertise would be seen as even more necessary. Thrawn Alliances takes place about 2 years earlier, when the rebels were still seen as a mere nuisance. I could see Vader preferring to handle any mission on his own, having not yet experienced the disaster at the Battle of Yavin. I also want to mention the Noghri species, because while Rook can still be seen serving Thrawn in the book and in Star Wars Rebels, it would appear he had no former allegiance to Vader. All that said, there are still some interesting similarities between their Legends and canon histories. Their earliest interactions were centered around a conflict on the edge of the galaxy, and while Legends Thrawn was used to find the hidden rebel base after the destruction of the Death Star, a significant part of his time in Star Wars Rebels is dedicated to discovering the hidden base of Phoenix Squadron on Atollon. And then of course his absence for most of the Galactic Civil War is kind of similar. He's off in some unknown part of the galaxy, unable to communicate with the rest of the Empire. The biggest difference being that in Legends it was by choice, and in canon he was forced into it, pun intended. I don't think Thrawn Alliances or Star Wars Rebels is the last we'll see of Grand Admiral Thrawn, and assuming we get more stories, I'll continue to cover them and compare them to what came before. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.